with CenturyLink since he's very familiar with our phone lines and
Okay.
things like that.
Hi, Jim. How are you? Dan?
Hello, Sam.
I'm Matthew.
Okay. I take it you're Ike.
Yes, I am. Sam,
Hi.
nice to meet you.
Dan Calder, presiding commissioner.
Nice to meet you. Ike Hallman of CenturyLink.
Rick Wilcox, the county clerk.
Spoke earlier. Jim Mays. Jim, good to see you again.
Okay, here's the situation. January, as I'm sure you know, is budget month for county government. And in a time of declining revenues, we are scrutinizing every penny that comes out of here in great detail. And one number that jumps off the page at us is the amount of money that we're spending on phone service. It appears that we're spending kind of in an unorganized fashion, and you know, we're doing a little of this, a little of that, and then I understand we have the 911 system was getting double billed for a period of time, and just want you to kind of give us your impression of what's going on and what can we do to save some money.
Good. Thanks for the opportunity to come and talk about this, and I do understand and appreciate the fact that you're trying to take a little holistic view and, you know, pull it together, because I think that is part of why we've been where we were. Is, you know, we just had individual departments had this, and so it was hard to do anything in a organized, I'll say, almost like a more wholesale environment,
Correct.
or to provide some things in what I'll say is the most efficient way, as I'll discuss later. So based on the accounts that Kim provided to me, I looked at it, and it looks like you were paying somewhere in the range of $13,000 total.
With the sheriff's department, it's $15,500.
Right. Now, is the sheriff's department in with your whole budget? Because that was a big one question I had relative. It is. Okay.
Yes.
Right. So you're right. With sheriff's department's 15, let's call it. With the overbilling of the 911 department, that's a shade under $2,500. So that would bring you down in the 10. Well, I don't have the sheriff's in here, so I'm saying 10 cents. So whatever the sheriff's is about $1,000. I can get probably something like a term discount, which would bring it down to, again, 10,000 without the sheriff, probably 11 with. So it's $500–600 a month. But what I would am recommending that the county do is upgrade the switches on both the sheriff's and here in the courthouse. Perhaps using this money that will be refunded to you as part of it. CenturyLink and management I've spoken to is willing to put in another amount of money, because it's probably somewhere in the range of $10,000 to get them both upgraded, so that they can take in a PRI circuit, primary rate interface circuit, so that you can deliver all the phone numbers over the two circuits instead of having individual lines. By my calculations, again, without the sheriff department, your bill would probably go down somewhere in the range of $8,600 a month. And Kim, I'll give you these calculation sheets.
Okay.
Just help.
The amount of the overpayment, do we know how, or the overcharge overpayment, do we know how long that took place?
No.
Have we looked at old bills to even determine?
Yet.
And how does CenturyTel, how do they feel about correcting that error?
Well, on the bills, we state that we normally expect to be notified within 90 days, and that's why we calculated at the 90-day, 3 months credit. If the county would like to pursue something else, I can escalate it on my side, and
Absolutely.
the county can negotiate with.
If I had to speculate in Lincoln County, I don't think CenturyTel has too many $15,000 a month clients. And absolutely, we don't want, I know it says 90 days,
Mhm.
but we're spending 15,000 a month. We're paying, we're not getting a rate on the long distance. And I don't feel like we should be in a position to proofread these bills. We're at a certain, we can proofread them as to what calls we've made, but I don't feel it's our position to, and as the field representative, quite frankly, it's not yours either. Somebody in that billing department needs to bear the responsibility that they have overcharged, not your best customer in the area, but a good one.
Yeah, very, very large, as a
And-
county
and,
hall, very large.
A 3-month, if it came to brass tacks, if a 3-month credit was all we could get, I would be extremely unhappy.
Okay. I'll take that message back, and if, I can't negotiate.
Right, I understand that.
Ike, is Betty Reynolds the general manager for this vicinity?
She is the general sales manager.
Okay,
And
we send an
she
email to her.
will help me, she'll be a party to it, she'll
Okay.
work, and I'll consult with these people, but they, again,
Right.
it's somebody from the corporate headquarters that actually negotiates anything above the 90 days. Betty and I will identify that person. Who should I have arranged for them to contact?
Contact myself or Kim.
Okay, all right.
Probably better stick with Kim since she started the liaison.
That's fine.
Okay, I'm fine with that, because it's all coming back here anyway.
Right.
Right.
So we'll pursue that.
We did send Betty an email letting her know that we were very concerned about this.
Okay. I don't, if I was copied, I don't remember seeing it.
It was
but
just a few hours ago.
Okay, all right. That's one of my plans, is just, I want to come up and talk to you guys and ladies, and then see what we found out. I was planning to meet with Betty soon anyway. So, she's got the email, I'll take the message back on your behalf, we'll find out who this person is, and we'll put them in touch with Kim.
Right.
In reality, the overbilling goes way beyond 3 months, so doesn't it? I mean, that-
I could see bills that went back further than that, yes. I don't have visibility to the, I'll say the distant past, so I don't
Right.
know.
The 911 director thought at least until April. It went back,
Okay.
Right, she's the one that looked back.
right.
That's, I knew
Yeah.
someone had said April of 2010.
Okay.
Your calculations for what our phone bill could be if we made changes, how are we handling long distance? I mean, I know residential customers can pay a rate and have, call from here to China, for a pretty reasonable fee, and we're still paying by the minute, aren't we?
5.5 cents a minute is
Right.
what our bills state.
And it's what I saw in most of them. I didn't look at every bill at that level of detail, but yeah, most of them are 5.5, which probably at that point in time was a pretty good rate for
Right.
long distance, given that most of your calls, I'd say, are intrastate calls. And intrastate calls are typically more expensive to terminate because we pay a termination charge on both
Right.
ends for an intrastate call. One thing about the proposal that I'm making for the primary rate interface circuits is they allow us to include in the price metro calling area service. So all of 314 area code and a lot of 636 area code would cease to be long distance. And if we pull the county together and we have a bulk minutes, then we can apply a discount it'll be probably well below that, depending on how many minutes we're talking about. I ran one for just the 911 center at Warren County recently, and they wanted 1,000 minutes to $135. So we can get that down to probably some lower cost, probably using some kind of bundle, and the metro calling area service would eliminate some things from even ever showing up as a total cost. Now, the other thing I want to mention to you all, and specifically to you guys, relative to going to the circuits that'll save you $2,000 a month. It sounds almost too good to be true, and it is a little bit. So, by putting all of the numbers on 1 or 2 circuits, then you're only going to get 1 or 2 bills.
So next question.
You'd have to,
Yeah, that's,
the county would have to determine how to allocate that expense among the various departments. Now, one thing, service that we can provide in the long distance arena to help certainly make it easier to allocate it on long distance, we can provide security or billing codes. Typically a 4-digit number that requires the user to enter that 4-digit number when they're dialing any OnePlus call. And then it comes out on the bill with this number, this number, this number. Now, counties I've worked with before who've been through this, what they would do is typically take the main number for the department, make that the 4-digit dialing, make that the security code to make it easy to remember and also easy for the clerk to identify. And then they would take the total that our long distance charges, allocate those departments on that basis. And for the, I'll say, local piece, what they typically did was however many lines that department was paying for going in, they just took the total expense and allocated it that way.
But the clerk would be able to pick that bill up and say, and it would be broken into this 4-digit number, this 4-digit
For the
number.
long distance.
For the long distance.
distance. All of the local would come on one lump, because you're not gonna see individual line number bills
Right.
because it's being billed on a single circuit or 2 circuits. 2 being, if you put one here, one at the sheriff's department, then you get 2 circuits. And you do have another circuit that's on your bill, would remain, of course. It connects the 2 buildings. You use half of it for data transfer between the 2 buildings, and half of it for voice calls that are, for some reason, transiting between the 2 buildings. Probably came into one building and transferred to the other, I would expect, or building to building. You know, if you have some 4-digit dialing between the 2 buildings, don't you? Yeah.
Correct.
Those calls and then something that got transferred from one building to the other would probably be traversing that circuit.
Okay.
so as far as budgeting for you, Dan, does that work with consolidating everything?
Yes, because at least for a time, we will have to dissect the bills and allocate it out. Now, if everything goes as planned, at the end of the year, the amount of money that we've expended for phones should be significantly less than what I have in the budget, because I budgeted according to what we've been spending. So our budget woes, Ike, you could be the hero at the end of the year.
Well, by my calculations, in this situation versus what you're currently paying with the adjustment for the I-11, because the correct billing, the payback period is about 4 months. And I was assuming the that you got 7,500 and you put 7,500 in the deal. Okay, your payback on that would be about 4 months if you put in 7,500.
If we put in 7,500, but if the 911 lady is correct, if Margie is correct,
Yeah.
we in fact, on paper, should have enough credit to cover
Yes.
something of that.
Depending on what you
Right.
wind up agreeing to.
Right,
'Cause
that-
another month even would just about pay it, based on my preliminary calculations.
Right.
I haven't done detailed engineering, but I have a pretty good idea.
Right. Okay, now as far as if we did go with these circuits, how invasive is that to our facility? Where would we need to get to? What would we need to do?
It's no more invasive than what you're doing today, probably less. The difference would be in the room where your phone lines come in today, instead of having or using 20, 30, 60 pairs, we'll use only either 2 or 4 pairs. We'll put a small device on the end, called a network interface unit. It's about 2 by 4 by 4. And then there will, again, the 2 or 4 pairs will terminate there,